it's Derf here getting ready to do some film photos for Fred and Fibbs. I got my crayons and I just gotta get my human glove. So, I'll be right back. See you in a little bit. Bye! Hey minions, I'm back here and we're gonna be coloring this little doggy today. Let's read what it says. Simple commands are best. You can reward your pet when they obey. Training takes time. Be patient. Some pets are easy to train, while others need more help. Training your pet will take time and patience. Some dogs need obedience training. This helps them to learn to obey commands. My brother Spartacus, he went to 2 obedience classes. Yeah, he wasn't a very good dog. So I'll tell you more about that story in a little bit, minions. But first, let's pet this. Let's color this dog. I was gonna say let's paint this dog, but I'm not gonna paint. I'm coloring. Although both are kind of similar, we both end up with a nice little product. You know, that's very colorful. So now, speaking of color. Yesterday was Martin Luther King Day. Now, Martin Luther King, he was a civil rights leader, and he fought to gain... Oh, my crayons are breaking. He fought to gain rights for African American individuals in America. So... back then, black people who had black skin, they didn't have all the rights, and they weren't treated as well as other individuals, which is totally wrong. Well, Martin Luther King, he saw the injustice in all this, and he helped lead a lot of protests and a lot of marches and a lot of events to help rectify the injustices that were suffered by people of color. Yeah, so it's really bad that just because of a person's skin color, they were treated differently, often worse than others. That's really wrong. It shouldn't happen. I mean, coloring should be something that brings people together, and people shouldn't use another skin color to discriminate against them. I mean, so wrong. And if you think about it, it doesn't make any sense, because it's all about what's on the inside. And that's one of the things that Martin Luther King said. He said, judge not on the color of the skin, but on the content of your character. And it's unfortunate that it took America and many other nations so long to come to the realization that, doesn't matter what we look like on the outside, the color of our skin, that's, the most important thing about a person. It's the content of their character. It's who they are on the inside, and that's how we should, judge people. So, but, unfortunately, despite, the works of Martin Luther King and other civil rights leaders, still people to this day sometimes have prejudice against others based on their ethnicity and their colors of their skin, and that's just totally wrong. Color should be used to, brighten the world, and it shouldn't be something that we use to divide ourselves and have conflict over. I mean, the world already has enough problems as it is. We don't need to, come up with stupid things to, fight over and make the world worse. We should, just as we're always trying to add color to these photos that we fill in, we should always be trying to, you know, add kindness and beauty and good things to the world that we live in. Make it better. Just like how color is making this picture more appealing and better. Our actions in our daily lives should work to make the world better. Make it better. So just as you know, when I finish with this photo, it's going to be a lot prettier than what it was earlier. And the same thing with our lives. We want all our actions that we take in our lives to make things prettier than when we found them. So, try to make your life like coloring minions. It's going to make the world better, more appealing to look at, and better to, you know, to be seen. So, and like coloring, you know, there isn't one way to make the world better. There's like, see, I could have picked out any of the crayons that I have, and I could have colored this dog any color that I wanted, you know? And it's kind of similar to making the world better. We all have different gifts and different talents. So, you know, maybe you might be a really good singer. Or maybe you might be really good at building things. Or maybe you're really good at, you know, writing. Or, you know, maybe you can paint. You know, our gifts are all like crayons. They're all different. But they can all be used to add some color to the world and make it better, make it nicer. So, don't feel bad if you don't necessarily have a gift that somebody else has. You have your own gift, and you can use it to make the world better. We don't all have to be red crayons like I'm using here now. You can be a blue crayon, or a purple crayon, or I don't know, any other number of color of crayons out there. There are just so many different crayons out there, and so many different gifts that people have, that no matter who you are and what you have talent-wise, there is a way that you can use that to make the world better. So, I don't know about you, but I'm thinking this picture is looking a lot better than what it was. So, now, while I have this blue crayon out here, one of the snacks that my daddy sometimes gives us is frozen blueberries. Frozen blueberries, you know what they do? They turn your teeth blue. So let's make this doggy here, let's pretend that he has blue teeth. Maybe he was being nice and his daddy gave him a snack of blueberries. He must have ate a lot of blueberries because all his teeth are blue. But you know one thing that this little doggy didn't have? I'll tell you what he didn't have. He didn't have any pizza. Because you can see there's no bites taken out of this pizza. It looks like it's a pepperoni pizza. Yummy pepperoni pizza. What's your favorite pizza, minions? My daddy's a vegetarian, so he doesn't eat pepperoni pizzas. But you know what kind of pizza he likes? He likes pizza with pickles on it. I know that sounds weird, but you know my dad is kind of weird. And he's not a very good cameraman either. I'm still hoping that I get a whole bunch of YouTube money so I can hire a better cameraman to take my fill-in photos for Fred and Fibbs videos. Daddy, he's never gonna learn to be a good cameraman. If only he would be as good of a cameraman as I am at coloring, man, production values would be so much better for my things. But, oh well. Maybe one day, like I said, man, maybe one day I'll become a viral sensation, and you know, I'll be making lots of YouTube monies. And then I can use those monies that I make to, besides buying a better cameraman, I can also use it to give to like animal shelters and rescues, and see, it's making the world a better place. That's what we're all challenged to do. So that's what I'm going to challenge all of you minions to do, is to make the world a better place today, and every other day of your life. You know, and there's many ways to do it. Just like there's many ways to color, and there's many coloring things that you can do. There are many ways that you can make the world a little bit better. So, that was a pretty quick coloring thing here, so let's color another one, minions, because it's fun. It's important to teach your pet good bathroom habits. You'll need to be patient when training your pet. You should empty, wash, and refill your cat's litter tray at least once a week. It's better not to let your cat walk on the table or countertops. Pets should be trained they do not belong where you prepare food or where you will be eating. So I know I talked about Martin Luther King, and you're probably thinking, well, why don't you do, you're talking about Martin Luther King today. Why don't you fill in photos for Fred and Fibbs on Martin Luther King Day? Well, because of something like this. Yeah, my daddy, he had to clean Princess Sarissa's cage yesterday. So instead of filling photos for Fred and Fibbs with me and filming for me, he was too busy cleaning the princess's cage. He cleaned Arthur and Derf's. He cleaned my cage, and me and my brother Arthur's cage. He cleaned that on Sunday. Yep. He also cleaned the other boys' cages, the new boys, Terry, Dutch, and Pops. He cleaned their cages on Sunday, but he left the princess's cage for Monday. Because I guess it's a little too hard work to clean all those cages all at once. You know what's really funny, minions, about the cages that we got right now? The cages that we have right now, or the litter that we have in our cage, it has unicorn magic in it. The litter, the paper litter, it's really colorful. It's almost as colorful as this photo that I'm filling in for Fred and Fibbs. Yep. And it has all these colors in it, and it's called Unicorn Magic. But unfortunately, there's no unicorns in it. I guess it just must be their magic. Yeah, me and my brother, we were looking all over in there. We were like digging through, and we were like, hey, maybe there's a unicorn in here. But there was no unicorn, minions. Yep. So if there's any rats or mice out there watching this video, or maybe a guinea pig or a gerbil or another animal that uses like paper litter, if your parent gets one that says unicorn magic in it, we already searched for it. There's no unicorns in it. Nope. So you can save yourself some time and just not look for unicorns in it, because we have Arthur and I already did it for you. So, let's finish covering the rest of this little bag here. I wonder if this kitty has, what kind of, litter, she has or he has. Alrighty, what color should we make the kitty? Let's make it a green kitty. See? Well, we'll color the nose first. Nice little red nose. Maybe we can call the kitty Rudolph. Rudolph the red-nosed kitty got colored in by Derf. If you ever saw Derf's coloring, you would say he's the best. I don't know, minions. I think some of you are probably really good colorers too. Especially if you've been following this series since the very beginning. You probably picked up a whole bunch of coloring tips. And you're probably almost a pro at coloring just like me. So we're going to color our kitty nice and green. Because like Martin Luther King said, you know, getting back to Martin Luther King, you know, the color of your skin shouldn't matter. Or in this case, the color of your fur. You know? Shouldn't matter at all. You know? This kitty doesn't matter that he or she is green. Well, I guess it's a he because we called it Rudolph, so. Doesn't matter here that Rudolph the red-nosed kitty is green. He's a good boy. Because he uses his little tray. And he's well trained. Speaking of training, I said way back at the beginning that I would tell a story about my brother Spartacus and his training. Yeah, well, he was going to agility class, and he was learning to do obstacles. Well, even though he already passed puppy training several years earlier, well, Spartacus is very, you know, he's very protective of my daddy, you know. And when he graduated class, and the lady who was the trainer was like gonna give his little medal to signify that he passed beginner agility course, he bit her. When she reached out to put the medal on Daddy's lap, I guess he thought that he was attacking her, that she was gonna attack Daddy, and he bit her. So she said, "You can't come to agility class anymore until you graduate a new training course." So Spartacus, he had to go back and he had to go to school again. Spartacus, what a silly little dog. Sometimes you hear him growling in the background on some of my videos. He's a growly dog. But you know, it's okay. I'm not going to judge him. Because like we were saying, we try not to be judgmental, you know? Especially, you don't want to judge people just on their skin color. You know, because that's bad. Yep. We should treat people and pets and animals with respect and dignity, and we shouldn't be trying to find dumb things to criticize them over or put them down. So wow, we're almost done. We're almost filled in 2 pictures today. I don't know about you, minions, but I had a lot of fun filling in all these 2 photos for Fred and Fibbs. You know what? This little thing here is these fill-in photos for Fred and Fibbs. They've always been just a little way for me and maybe all you minions out there to remember our 2 departed brothers, Fibbs and Fred. They were both colorful little ratties, and that's where, you know, the whole coloring things comes from, because they added color to people's lives. So we're adding color to these photos, so it's kind of appropriate, you know. We add color to these photos, they added color to our lives, so it's kind of a fitting tribute. So it's important that we pay tribute to individuals who've made the world better. People like rats like Fibbs and Fred, and people like Martin Luther King Jr., who taught many people the importance of not judging people on their skin color, but rather the content of their character. So it's always important, like I said, to remember those people who've made big differences in the world. So, Well, I'll be back, Minions, with my final thoughts. Take care. See you in a bit. Bye. Hey, Minions, Derf here, and as you can see, I'm posing with my 2 photos that I filled in for Fred and Fibbs. I hope you enjoyed watching me color these photos. And my stories that I told about Spartacus and Martin Luther King Jr. And just as I honored Fred and Fibbs by doing this a little coloring, I hope that you also remember to honor people like Martin Luther King Jr. Not just on his day, but throughout all of your life, remembering all the good things that he did for the world and people within it to make it a better place. And it's always important to remember and honor those who have passed on but have left a great, great legacy. So, just as Fred and Fibbs left a great legacy and good memories in our hearts, we need to honor those like Martin Luther King Jr. and other civil rights leaders who made the world better for so many people and opened the eyes of many other people, and whose legacy still lives on today. So, thank you for following along, and thank you, Martin Luther King, for all you did back when you were on this earth. So, I hope that all us minions will continue to be good examples of the things that you taught, and everybody in the world will also, put the lessons that you try to instill in humanity to heart, and that'll definitely make the world a better, more colorful place. Just as I made these photos a little bit better and more colorful. Take care, minions. This is Derf. Have a good day. Bye.